Ane nods, explaining his forgetful mishaps. Arjun listens intently before offering a small, enchanted notebook.
This will help you remember the little things,
he says, tapping the book with his staff, causing it to glow faintly. Ane flips through the notebook, discovering that each page magically lists items he might need for his journey. He smiles, knowing that this journey through the enchanted woods has taught him valuable lessons about the importance of remembering and being prepared.
No more I forgot,
he declares happily to the night sky, feeling more confident about his future adventures.
John clenched his fists, his mind replaying the final moments of the match. The sting of losing by 1 point was unbearable. As he stormed off the court, his teammates' attempts to console him only fueled his frustration.
If only Ryan had hit that last shot, if Daniel had moved faster, if the umpire hadn't made that bad call,
he muttered, seeking solace and blame. Just as he was about to unleash his anger on his racket, a deep voice interrupted his thoughts.
Whoa, whoa, easy there, champ.
Startled, John looked around, bewildered to find the court empty except for a lone tennis ball at his feet.
Who? What?
He stammered.
I'm Ace, the magical tennis ball of wisdom,
the ball said, bouncing lightly.
And you, my friend, need a little lesson in losing like a champion.
John found himself standing in a vast stadium, the roar of the crowd filling his ears. He watched two players engaged in a fierce match, the intensity palpable.
Where are we?
He asked, trying to make sense of his surreal surroundings.
This,
Ace replied,
is the game of champions. Watch closely. One player is about to lose.
John focused on the match, anticipating an outburst from the losing player. Yet when the player in red missed the final shot, they surprised him by shaking hands with their opponent and offering a genuine smile.
Great match,
the player in red said.
You played really well.
John blinked, perplexed.
Wait, they weren't blaming anyone?
See that?
Ace hovered beside him.
That's called sportsmanship. They're disappointed, sure, but instead of pointing fingers, they're focusing on what they can control.
John was now in the middle of his own championship match, but something was different. His teammates were embroiled in a heated argument.
This is your fault,
Ryan yelled at Daniel.
No, you should have covered the net faster,
Daniel shot back. John watched himself from earlier, standing apart, arms crossed, blaming everyone. The scene was a stark contrast to the harmony he had witnessed moments ago.
Blame divides a team,
Ace sighed beside him.
It makes people afraid to make mistakes. And when people are afraid, they don't take chances, they don't trust each other, and they definitely don't win championships.
John blinked and found himself back on the familiar court, Ace floating beside him. His teammates were still there, packing up in silence, giving him space. This was his moment to choose.
Hey guys,
he called out, drawing surprised glances.
I know I got upset earlier, but that wasn't fair. We all played hard, and instead of blaming each other, let's figure out how we can be better for next time.
Ryan and Daniel exchanged glances before they both smiled.
Yeah.
Ryan nodded.
Next time we'll get it. And next time I'll cover the net faster.
Daniel grinned. John laughed, feeling lighter than ever.
Now that's what I call a real champion.
Ace bounced once. John left the court that day feeling prouder than ever, not because of a trophy, but because he had become a better leader, a better teammate, and a better person. He realized that losing is part of the journey, but how you handle it defines who you are. Champions aren't the ones who win every match. They're the ones who keep improving, support their teammates, and never stop growing.
Ane, a bright-eyed young adventurer, steps into the woods, eager for his journey. However, in his excitement, he realizes he's left his water bottle at home.
Oh no, not again,
he groans, patting his empty backpack. Determined not to let this small setback ruin his day, he marches onward, his eyes scanning the vibrant flora around him. As Ane walks, he suddenly hears a rustling sound behind him. Turning around, he sees a playful squirrel holding a small, shiny object.
Hey, that's my compass,
Ane exclaims, realizing he had dropped it earlier. The squirrel chatters happily, seemingly inviting him to play a game of chase. After retrieving his compass, Ane continues his trek, but soon feels the cold nip of the breeze. He stops, realizing he forgot his jacket as well.
Why do I keep forgetting everything?
He mutters, shivering slightly. Just then he notices a distant figure approaching, a robed figure with a staff, moving gracefully through the trees. Arjun, the wise wizard of the Enchanted Woods, greets Ane warmly.
Young one, I see you've had quite the adventure already.
He chuckles softly. Ane nods, explaining his forgetful mishaps. Arjun listens intently before offering a small, enchanted notebook.
This will help you remember the little things,
He says, tapping the book with his staff, causing it to glow faintly. Ane flips through the notebook, discovering that each page magically lists items he might need for his journeys.
This is incredible. Thank you, Arjun.
He beams, feeling a newfound sense of responsibility. The wizard nods,
Remember, it's the small steps that lead to great journeys.
he advises, before vanishing into the woods. With his enchanted notebook in hand, Ane begins his trek back home, his heart light and his mind clear. He smiles, knowing that this journey through the Enchanted Woods has taught him valuable lessons about the importance of remembering and being prepared.
No more I forgot. For me,
He declares happily to the night sky, feeling more confident about his future adventures.
Ane stood at the edge of his front yard, his eyes scanning the scene with a knowing smirk. His parents called him a chatterbox. He called it being expressive.
Why should I keep quiet when I have so much to say?
He often reasoned with himself. Ane's mother called him to the table, her voice gentle yet firm.
Ane, please sit down and have your breakfast.
She urged. Ane, not missing a beat, retorted.
Why do I have to eat now? Can't I just play a little longer?
His mother sighed, knowing this was just another typical morning. Ane was always quick to respond in class, sometimes with wit, other times with sarcasm. Today was no different. His teacher, Mr. Roberts, tried to explain a math problem when Ane interrupted.
I don't see why we need this. When am I ever going to use algebra in real life?
The class snickered, but Mr. Roberts was not amused.
Ane, there's a time to speak and a time to listen.
He reminded, his patience wearing thin. Ane kicked at the dirt, feeling the weight of solitude. His usual companions had drifted away, tired of his constant comebacks.
Even you, buddy?
He sighed, looking at his dog. Buddy wagged his tail, offering silent company. Ane realized then that perhaps his words had more power than he knew. Ane thought back to the day's events, the faces of his teacher and friends flashing in his mind.
Words can hurt.
He penned, the realization dawning. He resolved to change, to use his voice for good, to listen more than he spoke.
Tomorrow is a new day,
he wrote, feeling a sense of hope. Ane approached his friends, his heart pounding with anticipation.
Hey, I'm sorry for yesterday. I didn't mean to upset anyone,
he said, his voice sincere. His friends exchanged glances and, one by one, they nodded, their smiles returning. Ane felt a warmth spread through him, knowing that this was the start of something better.
एक सुनहरी सुबह थी जब जंगल की हरियाली को सूरज की किरणें छू रही थीं। लोमड़ी अपनी चतुराई के लिए मशहूर अपने निवास स्थान के पास टहल रही थी। उसकी नजर अचानक कौवा पर पड़ी, जो एक ऊंचे पेड़ की शाखा पर बैठा था। कौवे के मुंह में कुछ चमकदार था। लोमड़ी के मन में उत्सुकता जागी। वह क्या है? शायद कोई चमकदार कीड़ा है, उसने सोचा। वह पेड़ के नीचे खड़ी हो गई और कौवा से पूछने लगी,
हे कौवे, तुम्हारे मुंह में क्या है? वह इतना चमकदार क्यों है?
कौवा, जो बहुत ही मूर्ख था, ने गर्व से कहा,
यह एक चमकदार कीड़ा है। यह बहुत ही स्वादिष्ट है।
लोमड़ी ने मन ही मन सोचा, अगर मैं उस कीड़े को पा सकूं तो बहुत अच्छा होगा। लोमड़ी ने चतुराई से कहा,
तुम्हारी आवाज बहुत सुंदर है। अगर तुम गाना गाओगे तो मैं तुम्हें वह चमकदार कीड़ा दूंगी।
कौआ बहुत खुश हुआ और उसने गाना गाना शुरू किया। जैसे ही कौआ ने मुंह खोला, चमकदार कीड़ा नीचे गिर गया और लोमड़ी ने उसे तुरंत पकड़ लिया। कौआ को अपनी मूर्खता का एहसास हुआ, लेकिन तब तक बहुत देर हो चुकी थी। लोमड़ी हंसती हुई चली गई। उसने अपनी चालाकी से न केवल चमकदार कीड़ा पाया, बल्कि कौआ को एक सबक भी सिखाया। कौआ ने सीखा कि कभी भी किसी अजनबी पर भरोसा नहीं करना चाहिए।
Ruffy, the swift rabbit, with a penchant for boasting, bounced eagerly through the forest, his eyes gleaming with excitement.
Toby, let's have another race,
he exclaimed, spotting his slow-moving friend Toby, the wise turtle, who was basking in the morning sun. Toby chuckled softly, his eyes twinkling with wisdom.
Ruffy, this time, let's make it more than just a race. How about a journey through the forest?
He suggested. Ruffy nodded eagerly, his competitive spirit now mingled with curiosity. Ruffy and Toby set off together, encountering a group of playful squirrels. The squirrels chattered excitedly, inviting them to join in a game of hide-and-seek. Ruffy laughed, joining the fun, while Toby watched with a gentle smile, appreciating the beauty of companionship. Toby paused beneath the oak, his gaze drifting upwards.
Ruffy, sometimes the journey is more important than the destination,
he mused. Ruffy looked thoughtful, nodding as he pondered the turtle's words, realizing that speed wasn't his only strength. As they neared the finish line, Ruffy slowed down, falling in step with Toby.
Let's cross together,
he suggested with newfound respect. Toby smiled warmly, appreciating the gesture as they stepped over the line side by side. The forest came alive with cheers as the animals celebrated not just the race, but the friendship that had blossomed. Toby spoke softly.
Together, we've learned that friendship and understanding are the true rewards.
Ruffy nodded, his heart full of gratitude and joy.
Luna, a curious and brave young girl, dreams of touching the stars. Every night, she watches them twinkle from her bedroom window, wishing she could visit them. One evening, as she gazes up, she notices that one of the brightest stars is flickering. Suddenly, a tiny comet swoops down and speaks to her. Luna, the starlight crystal is missing. Without it, the stars will lose their glow forever. The comet reveals that only a true dreamer can find the lost crystal and restore the night sky. Luna, with her adventurous spirit, eagerly accepts the mission. Luna is transported to the celestial realm, a world floating among the stars, where she meets a quirky crew. Nova, a mischievous shooting star who zooms around too fast. Orion, a wise, glowing owl who holds the map to the lost crystal. Cosmo, a fluffy space cat who can float and sense hidden energy. Together, they embark on an intergalactic journey through starry mazes, floating asteroid fields, and cosmic waterfalls to reach the lost nebula, where the starlight crystal is hidden. When they arrive, they find that the shadow of the void, a mysterious dark force, has taken the crystal, dimming the sky to darkness. The shadow tries to convince Luna that dreams fade and light cannot last forever. But Luna, remembering her love for the stars and the magic of believing, holds on to her courage. With the help of her new friends, she uses the power of her dreams and inner light to defeat the shadow, reclaiming the crystal. As Luna restores the starlight crystal, the stars begin to glow brighter than ever. The night sky returns to its dazzling brilliance, and the celestial realm celebrates her bravery. Before she knows it, Luna wakes up in her bed, wondering if it was all a dream, until she finds a tiny glowing star on her nightstand. She smiles, knowing that no dream is too big and that magic is always within her. She smiles. knowing that no dream is too big and that magic is always within her.
Dino, a curious dinosaur with scales reflecting the colors of the forest, wandered through the kaleidoscope of trees. His eyes widened with wonder as he marveled at the spectacle around him.
I've never seen a forest quite like this,
he marveled aloud, his voice tinged with excitement. As Dino walked, he noticed a glade hidden behind a curtain of shimmering leaves. Intrigued, he pushed through and found himself in a serene clearing where the colors seemed even more vibrant. In the center, a group of small magical creatures gathered, their wings glistening like pieces of the rainbow. Aurora, a tiny fairy with wings that sparkled in the sunlight, approached Dino.
Welcome, Dino. We've been waiting for someone like you.
She chimed, her voice as sweet as honey.
Waiting for me? Why?
Dino asked, his curiosity piqued. Luna, a wise old owl perched on a branch, hooted softly.
Our forest is enchanted, but the colors are fading. We need your help to restore the missing rainbows,
she explained, her eyes full of wisdom. Talon, a brave squirrel with a bushy tail, darted forward.
There's a hidden cave where the rainbows were once kept. It's a dangerous journey, but with your courage, we might succeed,
he declared, his tiny paws gesturing toward the distant mountains. Dino nodded, feeling a surge of determination.
I will help. Let's restore the forest together,
he promised, his heart swelling with a newfound sense of purpose. The friends traversed through thickets and over streams, each obstacle a testament to their growing bond. Aurora flitted alongside Dino, offering encouragement with her cheerful presence. Luna guided them with her keen insight, while Talon scouted ahead, ensuring the path was clear.
Look, the cave is just ahead,
Aurora announced, her wings fluttering with excitement. Dino and his friends entered the cave, their eyes widening at the sight of faded rainbows etched into the stone. Luna spread her wings, casting a gentle light that illuminated the room.
How do we restore them?
Dino asked, his voice echoing in the chamber. Talon squeaked with determination.
By believing in the magic of friendship and courage,
he replied, his eyes sparkling. Together they focused their hearts and minds, unleashing a wave of colors that danced through the cave and back into the forest. The trees shimmered anew, vibrant and alive once more.
We did it!
Aurora sang, her joy contagious. Dino beamed, his scales reflecting the restored brilliance of the forest.
Thank you, my friends. We've saved the rainbow forest,
he declared, knowing their friendship would keep the colors alive forever.
Leo, the curious little lion, stretched his paws and yawned, ready for a new day of exploration. Today was special. He had heard about a magical ABC adventure waiting for him in the jungle. With a bounce in his step, Leo set off, eager to discover what each letter had in store. Leo trotted into the clearing and stopped in awe. Ella the elephant was already there, reaching up with her long trunk to pick an apple.
Good morning, Ella. What a lovely apple tree.
Hello, Leo. A is for apple, and these are the juiciest in the jungle.
Ella replied with a smile. Leo followed the balloons with delight, his eyes wide with wonder. Tina, the turtle, was nearby, watching the balloons float by.
B is for balloon, right, Tina?
That's right, Leo. They remind us that there's always fun and laughter in the air.
Tina chuckled as she admired the colorful sight. As Leo continued his journey, he spotted a graceful cat lounging on a rock.
Hello there. C is for cat,
Leo called out cheerfully. The cat purred, flicking her tail in acknowledgement.
Indeed, young lion, and every letter brings us closer to new friends and adventures.
The cat replied with a knowing smile. Leo joined the gathering, his tail swishing to the beat.
Drums make such wonderful music. D is for drum,
he exclaimed, feeling the rhythm in his paws.
Music brings us all together, Leo,
Ella said, tapping her foot along with the beat, her ears flapping in time. Leo lay down, content from his day's adventure. He had learned so much, and he knew there were more letters to explore tomorrow.
Thank you, friends, for such a fun day. I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings,
he said with a sleepy yawn.
Sleep well, Leo. The jungle has many more surprises for you,
Tina replied softly as they all settled down for a peaceful night.
Armed with a plastic shovel, Max and Leo set off on their quest, hearts pounding with excitement. The grass beneath their feet felt like lush, uncharted territory. Max, look out! Lava! He shouted, leaping over the sprinkler with dramatic flair. Leo dodged imaginary arrows, his imagination painting vivid pictures of danger around every corner. He swatted away invisible spiders, urging Max, "We're almost there," as he led the charge. Finally, they reached the tree, a towering sentinel of their backyard adventure. "Leo, time to dig," he declared with authority. Max eagerly grabbed the shovel, plunging it into the earth with determination. The sound of metal striking something solid reverberated through the air.
"No way, we actually found something,"
Max exclaimed, his voice filled with disbelief and awe. With bated breath, they clawed at the dirt, unveiling a rusty metal box. Hearts pounding, they pried it open, their eyes widening at the sight. Inside lay old coins, a compass with a mysterious aura, and a faded note. "Leo, this could lead to more adventures," he exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Max picked up the compass, feeling an inexplicable pull towards it. The needle spun wildly for a moment, before settling, pointing towards the unknown. Little did they know, the compass was enchanted. The moment Max touched it, a gentle breeze swirled around them, whispering secrets of hidden realms. "Leo, do you feel that?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Max nodded, captivated by the compass's glow.
"I think it's showing us the way,"
he murmured, a sense of wonder enveloping him. As they stood there, a portal began to materialize, its swirling colors beckoning them forward. "Leo, are you ready for this?" he asked, a mix of hesitation and anticipation in his voice. Max took a deep breath, gripping the compass tightly.
"Together,"
he affirmed, stepping towards the portal with Leo by his side. With a final glance at their backyard, they stepped through the portal, leaving the familiar behind. As the portal enveloped them, they found themselves in a world unlike any other, where adventure awaited at every turn. Together, Max and Leo embraced the unknown, ready to unravel the mysteries of the hidden realm.
In the heart of this peaceful town, two boys, Anay and Arjun, sat on a creaky porch, their eyes scanning the skies. Anay, with his messy hair and glasses perpetually sliding down his nose, was engrossed in tweaking a peculiar gadget. Arjun, sporting a wild shock of hair and an even wilder imagination, stared dreamily at the cosmos.
"Do you think the Martians will come tonight?"
Arjun mused, his voice filled with anticipation.
"If they do, we'll be ready,"
Anay replied, his fingers deftly assembling the final piece of his latest invention, a makeshift alarm system designed to detect any extraterrestrial activity. The boys leaped to their feet, eyes wide with a mix of fear and excitement. Anay's gadget began to beep frantically, confirming their wildest suspicions.
"They're here,"
Anay exclaimed, his voice barely concealing a tremor.
"Let's go meet our visitors."
Arjun grinned, his eccentric courage shining through. Anay and Arjun crept closer, their hearts pounding like war drums. The Martians, tall and slender with skin that seemed to shift colors, moved with an unsettling grace.
"They're scarier than I imagined,"
Arjun whispered, clutching a homemade slingshot.
"Stick to the plan. We'll outsmart them,"
Anay reassured, adjusting his glasses with a determined nod. Anai laid out a blueprint of their strategy, pointing to various scribbles and calculations. Arjun listened intently, his mind racing with possibilities.
So, we lure them into the clearing with the sound traps, and then...
Arjun asked, eyes gleaming with excitement.
Then we activate the EMP pulse. It should disable their tech momentarily.
Anai explained, his voice brimming with confidence. Arjun gave Anai a nod, and with a swift motion, the plan was set in motion. The sound traps erupted with a cacophony of noise, startling the Martians and drawing them further into the boy's trap.
Now!
Anai shouted, pressing a button on his gadget. The EMP pulse surged through the clearing, causing the Martian craft to flicker and the aliens to stagger in confusion. Anai and Arjun watched as the Martian craft lifted off, disappearing into the morning sky. A sense of triumph and relief washed over them.
We did it!
Arjun cheered, his face alight with joy.
We sure did.
Anai smiled, pocketing a small glowing artifact as a souvenir of their extraordinary adventure. The boys headed back home, their hearts filled with the thrill of victory and the promise of many more adventures to come.
Kabir lay in bed, the early sunlight streaming through his window, warming the room. His heart thumped with excitement. Today was his birthday. He wondered what surprises awaited him. Suddenly, the door burst open and his best friend, you, bounded in, a wide grin on your face.
Happy birthday, bro!
Kabir sat up, eyes widening, as you presented a custom mech arena controller gleaming with his name etched in bold letters.
Dude, this is awesome!
He exclaimed, gripping it tightly as if it were a prized trophy. Kabir and you settled into their gaming chairs, ready to dive into the mech arena tournament. Tension in the room was palpable as they selected their mechs, Kabir choosing Panther, and you opting for Killshot.
Let's show them what the ultimate duo can do,
you said, fingers dancing across the controller. Kabir was in his element, maneuvering Panther with precision. Together they stormed through rounds, their coordination seamless. With every successful attack, their laughter and shouts of triumph echoed.
That was insane!
Kabir cheered as they claimed victory in the final match. You tossed a basketball to Kabir.
Next level, Court Kings.
You challenged with a playful wink. Their game was intense, filled with laughter and friendly taunts. Kabir dribbled past you, leaping to make a perfect three-pointer.
You're getting better,
Kabir teased, wiping sweat from his brow.
Yeah, but wait till you see the final level.
You responded, a mysterious smile playing on your lips. You guided Kabir to your home, where his final surprise awaited as they entered. A chorus of "Surprise!" erupted from friends gathered around a giant mech arena-themed cake. Kabir stood in awe.
Bro, this is unreal!
He gasped, overwhelmed by the warmth of friendship surrounding him. You clapped Kabir on the back.
Let's make this a night to remember,
you said, handing him a slice of cake. The party was in full swing, laughter and stories flowing as easily as the drinks. Kabir and you challenged each other to a basketball hoop contest in the backyard, their competitive spirits undiminished. Kabir made an impressive shot, prompting cheers from the crowd.
This was the best birthday ever,
Kabir declared, his face glowing with happiness. Kabir turned to you, gratitude shining in his eyes.
Thanks, man,
Kabir said, pulling you into a bear hug. You chuckled.
Of course, bro, that's what best friends are for.
You replied, feeling the profound bond that had only grown stronger through the day's adventures. Game 1. Friendship level, legendary.
Mira darted across the gymnasium, her ponytail bouncing with every step. Her eyes sparkled with excitement as she glanced at the balance beam and the colorful tumbling mats.
I can't wait to try the bars again,
she exclaimed, her voice a melody of enthusiasm and curiosity. Miss Ava, her coach, watched her from a distance, a gentle smile playing on her lips.
Remember to warm up first, Mira,
she reminded, her tone both caring and firm. Mira took a deep breath as she approached the tumbling mat. The backflip, her nemesis. Each attempt in practice had been a lesson in patience and persistence.
What if I don't land it?
She whispered to herself, a slight tremor in her voice. Miss Ava stepped up beside her, offering a reassuring nod.
You are stronger than you think, Mira. Trust your training and yourself,
she encouraged, her words wrapping around Mira like a comforting hug. Mira tried again and again, her falls becoming less frequent, her landings more secure. Each failure only fueled her resolve, her eyes fixed on the goal ahead. With every leap, she felt a little braver, her fears slowly giving way to confidence. Miss Ava watched her progress, pride swelling in her heart.
That's it, Mira. You're getting there,
she cheered, clapping her hands to keep the rhythm of encouragement. Mira walked onto the mat, her heart pounding in sync with the applause filling the room. Her friends leaned forward from the sidelines, their eyes wide with hope and belief in her.
You can do it, Mira,
they cheered, their voices a symphony of support. Miss Ava gave her a thumbs up from the sidelines, her faith in Mira unwavering. The moment had come. Mira bent her knees, her muscles coiled like a spring. She propelled herself into the air, her body a graceful arc against the backdrop of expectant faces. For a heartbeat, time seemed to stretch, the flip hanging in the air as if suspended by magic. And then, her feet touched the mat, steady and sure. The room erupted into thunderous applause, the cheers echoing off the walls. Mira stood tall, her face aglow with joy and triumph. She had done it. Mira basked in the moment, her heart soaring with a newfound confidence.
I didn't just land a flip,
she thought, her eyes meeting Miss Ava's, full of gratitude and understanding.
I found my courage.
Miss Ava walked over, her smile broad and genuine.
I'm so proud of you, Mira. This is just the beginning,
she said, her words a promise of more adventures to come.
In the center of the mall, a parrot sat, surrounded by people engrossed in their conversations. There were arguments, harsh words flying around. The parrot listened, tilting its head. Then it started to mimic. But not the harsh words, instead kind ones. People stopped, listened, and looked. They heard their words turned kind. Arguments softened, faces relaxed. Kindness spread, replacing the tension. Laughter echoed, smiles blossomed. And the parrot, it just preened. In a lively jungle lived Polly. One sunny day, Polly lost her treasure. She searched her nest but found nothing. So, she decided to look around the jungle. She asked her animal friends for help. They all joined the search. At the river, they found a shiny object. It was Polly's lost treasure. Everyone was happy and celebrated. Polly thanked her friends for their help. As the sun set, they returned home. It was an exciting day in the jungle.
Leo and Max bounded out of the house, their faces alight with excitement. Max, "What's today's adventure?" he asked, gripping a toy sword in his hand. Leo, the older brother, flashed a mischievous grin.
"Today we discover lost treasure,"
he declared, pointing dramatically towards the old oak tree. Leo and Max scrambled to find paper and crayons, their minds buzzing with creativity. They quickly sketched a map, labeling areas like Crocodile Swamp, the kiddie pool, and Cave of Doom, the shed.
"The treasure is buried under the old oak tree,"
Leo announced, marking a bold X on their map. With a plastic shovel in hand, Leo led the way, and Max followed closely, eyes wide with anticipation.
Look out for the lava pit,
Max shouted, leaping over the sprinkler. Leo swung his imaginary sword, bravely fighting off invisible foes.
Time to dig,
Leo declared. Max dug eagerly into the dirt, his small hands working swiftly. Suddenly, there was a dull thud.
No way, we found something,
Max exclaimed, eyes wide with disbelief.
Wow, look at this,
Leo marveled, holding up a tarnished compass. The note inside the box crumbled slightly at the edges, its words lost to time. Max leaned in, fascinated by their discovery. Mom smiled as they burst through the door, the box clutched tightly between them.
Boys, cookies are ready,
she called, setting a plate on the table. As they munched on the warm treats, Leo and Max shared their plans.
Tomorrow we'll be detectives,
Leo declared.
Yeah, we'll solve the mystery of the hidden box,
Max agreed enthusiastically. Their backyard was more than just a play area. It was a world of endless adventures.
Welcome, friends, come dance with me. Yeah, in the jungle by the big tall tree. All the animals love to groove. So follow along and feel the move. Stomp like an elephant, boom, boom, boom. Jump like a monkey, zoom, zoom, zoom. Twirl like a giraffe, round and round. Shake like a snake, slither on the ground. The lion roars and spins so fast. The parrot flaps, a flying blast. The kangaroo hops up and down. Let's all dance, don't stop now. Stomp like an elephant, boom, boom, boom. Jump like a monkey, zoom, zoom, zoom. Twirl like a giraffe, round and round. Shake like a snake, slither on the ground. Clap your hands, tap your feet, move your body to the beat.
Anto, a little ant with a heart bigger than his size, scurried along the riverbank. The air shimmered with heat, and the river sparkled invitingly. As Anto paused to catch his breath, he noticed Daisy, a dove, struggling by the water's edge, her feathers ruffled and eyes pleading.
Oh, you look so parched, friend,
Anto murmured, scampering closer. With all his might, he pushed a broad leaf towards the river, nudging it just enough for the water to pool.
Thank you.
Daisy's voice was soft and grateful as she leaned down to sip the cool water. Her eyes shone with relief and a newfound warmth for her tiny savior. After quenching her thirst, Daisy settled beside Anto, their shadows mingling under the afternoon sun.
I owe you my thanks,
Daisy cooed, fluffing her wings.
We are friends now, little one,
she added with a smile.
Friends look out for each other,
Anto chirped back, his antennae twitching in agreement. They lingered there, sharing stories of the meadow and the creatures that inhabited it, their connection growing with every word. Days later, as the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the meadow, Anto found himself in peril. A bird, sleek and predatory, spotted him as an easy meal.
Oh no!
Anto cried, his legs scrambling to find cover among the tall grasses, but the bird was swift, swooping down with talons extended. Just as the bird drew near, a flurry of white feathers filled the air. Daisy swooped in, her wings outstretched, casting a protective shadow over Anto.
Leave him be,
Daisy cried out, her voice fierce and unwavering. Startled, the bird veered away, not wanting to tangle with the brave dove. Anto emerged from his hiding place, his heart pounding with relief. Daisy landed beside him, her eyes softening as she gazed at her tiny friend.
I knew you'd come,
Anto said, breathless but grateful.
I couldn't let you face danger alone.
Daisy replied, nudging him gently with her beak. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Anto and Daisy sat side by side, their friendship sealed by acts of kindness.
It's true what they say.
Anto mused, watching as the first stars appeared.
A small act of kindness always comes back.
Daisy agreed, her voice a gentle melody in the night. Together they watched the stars twinkle above, their bond unbreakable, knowing that in the vast expanse of the meadow, they would always have each other.
Emma crouched to retrieve her fallen pencil, her fingers brushing against the cool wooden floor. As she and Jake nudged the bookshelf, they felt an unexpected breeze.
Did you feel that?
Jake whispered, his eyes round with excitement. Emma nodded, her heart racing.
Let's see where this leads,
she said, pulling out her small flashlight. Emma and Jake squeezed through the gap, their breaths echoing softly. The beam of Emma's flashlight danced over dusty shelves and forgotten relics. Jake spotted the notebook with faded gold letters.
The Secret Adventure Club. This is incredible,
he exclaimed.
Imagine what mysteries we could solve from here.
Emma mused, her eyes sparkling. The duo transformed the hidden room into their secret headquarters, the air buzzing with anticipation. They pored over maps, devised plans, and soon tackled their first little mystery, the elusive crayon bandit. Jake laughed.
Who knew it was just a squirrel collecting them for its nest?
Emma giggled, her cheeks flushed with the thrill of discovery. News of their adventure spread, and soon other students joined in. The room filled with laughter and the sound of pencils scribbling plans. Emma proudly declared,
"Welcome to the Secret Adventure Club,"
Jake added.
Together, we'll uncover the school's mysteries.
One day, Emma uncovered an old book with a riddle scribbled inside.
This could be our biggest adventure yet,
Jake said, eyes gleaming with excitement. The club members deciphered clues, their footsteps echoing through the hallways as they searched for the hidden treasure. Their journey led to a time capsule buried 50 years ago. The school buzzed with excitement as their teacher, instead of reprimanding them, praised their discovery. Emma and Jake stood on stage during assembly, their hearts swelling with pride as the school cheered. The Secret Adventure Club was now a cherished part of school history, and their friendship, a timeless bond.
Good morning, sunshine, time to rise. Open your eyes and stretch up high. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Let's get ready, here we go. Brush, brush, brush your teeth. Make them shiny, nice and neat. Wash your face, comb your hair. Now you're fresh and ready, yeah. Time to get dressed, pick something fun. Shoes on tight, now we're almost done. Breakfast time, let's grab a bite. A yummy meal to start it right. Brush, brush, brush your teeth. Make them shiny, nice and neat. Wash your face, comb your hair. Now you're fresh and ready, yeah. Backpack packed, I'm set to go. Off to school, I say hello. Morning's done, I feel so bright. Starting my day just feels so right. Brush, brush, brush your teeth. Make them shiny, nice and neat. Wash your face, comb your hair. Now you're fresh and ready, yeah. Hooray, let's start the day. Whoa. let's start the day. Make them shiny, nice and neat. Wash your face, comb your hair, now you're fresh and ready, yeah. Now you're fresh and ready, yeah. Oh, 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 Ray, let's start the day. It'll make them shiny, nice and neat. No, wash your face, comb your hair, now you're fresh and ready, yeah. Oh, brush, brush, and brush, brush. All around, let's start the day.
In the kindergarten, Lena was playing. Suddenly, Turkan took Lena's toy. Lena was upset and confused. She didn't know what to do. Finally, Lena decided to talk. She approached Turkan calmly. Lena told Turkan, "I felt sad when you took my toy without asking." Turkan looked surprised, then sorry. She apologized and gave back the toy. Lena accepted the apology. They played together happily after.
Mickey Mouse stared in awe at the ancient map spread out on the table, its glow casting a warm light across his face.
Gosh, I wonder what this is all about,
he mused, tracing the intricate lines with his gloved finger. The map pulsed with energy, revealing the outline of a hidden enchanted kingdom in peril. A mysterious message glowed softly, whispering of a hero needed to restore lost magic. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, Mickey took a deep breath and stepped through the portal. Instantly, he found himself in a fantastical realm, where floating castles drifted lazily against a backdrop of swirling pink and orange clouds.
Wow, this place is incredible,
he exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. Nearby, trees with faces chatted softly amongst themselves, and rivers sparkled like liquid diamonds. Ollie, the wise old owl, fluffed his feathers and addressed Mickey with a gentle nod.
To save our kingdom, you must find 3 enchanted gems,
he explained, his voice calm and wise.
They are hidden in the Whispering Woods, the Shimmering Caves, and the Sky Tower. Each gem holds a truth about your own inner magic.
Mickey nodded, determination shining in his eyes. Mickey ventured into the eerie forest where the trees leaned close, their branches twisting like gnarled fingers. Their whispers tickled his ears, posing riddles that challenged his wit.
Let me think,
he murmured, piecing together the clues. With each correct answer, the forest seemed to brighten, and soon a green gem shimmered into view, pulsating with the essence of nature. As Mickey navigated the glittering caves, he encountered a magnificent crystal dragon guarding the second gem. Its scales shimmered like 1,000 rainbows, and its eyes glowed with ancient wisdom.
Hello, mighty dragon,
Mickey greeted with respect.
I seek the blue gem of wisdom.
With careful words and gentle gestures, he calmed the dragon's wary heart, earning its trust and the precious gem. Riding on a magical cloud, Mickey soared to the Sky Tower, where a mischievous wind spirit awaited. The spirit swirled around him playfully, challenging his courage amidst gusts of swirling wind.
I won't give up,
Mickey declared, bracing himself against the storm. With unwavering bravery, he claimed the golden gem, its light radiating courage and strength. With all 3 gems in hand, Mickey returned to the castle. He placed each gem into the enchanted pedestal, and a blinding burst of light erupted, washing over the kingdom. Magic flowed through the land, reviving its beauty and filling every corner with joy and laughter. Ollie fluttered down beside him.
You've done it, Mickey,
he praised, his eyes twinkling with gratitude. As the portal opened once more, Mickey looked around at the enchanted kingdom one last time.
I guess it's time to go home,
he said, a hint of nostalgia in his voice. With a wave to Ollie and the friends he had made, he stepped back into his clubhouse. The map faded away, but a golden star remained on his glove, a token of his incredible journey and the magic within. Mia paused, her gaze drawn to the shadowed edge of the forest.
Do you hear that, Mia?
Ben asked, his eyes wide with curiosity. The wind carried a soft melodic whisper, urging them to explore.
It's coming from the forest.
Mia replied, her voice tinged with excitement. Ben knelt by the roots of an ancient tree, brushing away leaves to reveal an old glowing map. Mia reached out, her fingers tingling as she touched the parchment. Instantly the map illuminated, casting a soft light and revealing a hidden pathway leading deeper into the forest.
It's like it's guiding us,
she whispered, her heart racing with anticipation. Mia and Ben stood at the center of the grove, listening intently as the trees began to speak.
To move forward, solve our riddles.
The trees chanted in unison. Together, Mia and Ben pieced together the answers, their minds working in harmony. As they solved the final puzzle, a shimmering bridge materialized, spanning the grove to the next part of their journey. Mia listened closely to the echoes bouncing off the riverbank, deciphering the pattern in the whispers. Ben watched the stones, identifying the ones that resonated with each whisper.
Step there, and there,
he instructed, guiding Mia as they navigated the glowing path together. The figure's voice was a low, rumbling whisper as it presented its final riddle. Mia and Ben exchanged glances, their minds racing.
It's a trick question,
Mia realized, a smile spreading across her face.
The answer is nothing,
Ben added confidently. The figure nodded, stepping aside to grant them passage. Mia and Ben moved with hushed steps, the atmosphere thick with enchantment. Carefully, Mia reached for the crystal, her heart pounding. Ben held his breath, watching as she lifted the crystal free without disturbing the giant's rest.
We've got it,
Mia whispered triumphantly. As the crystal settled into place, a wave of magic swept through the forest, reviving its every corner. Birds sang, leaves shimmered, and the air was filled with a sense of celebration.
We did it,
Ben exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder.
The forest is alive again,
Mia added, her voice brimming with joy. Mia looked at the mark, its glow a reminder of their adventure. Ben glanced at her, his expression mirroring her thoughts.
Do you think anyone will believe us?
He asked with a grin.
Maybe not, but we know what happened,
Mia replied, her heart light with the memory.
Until next time, brave explorers,
the wind seemed to murmur, wrapping them in its promise. Mia and Ben exchanged a knowing smile, their hearts filled with the magic of their journey and the anticipation of new quests waiting beyond the horizon.
Sarah, filled with excitement, packed her bag. She's ready for an adventure. Sarah entered the enchanted forest. She looked around in awe. She met a squirrel and an owl. They offered to help her. Together they ventured deeper into the forest. Sarah showed great courage. They found the lost treasure beneath a tree. Sarah opened the chest, her eyes sparkling. They celebrated and shared the treasure. Sarah's adventure was truly magical. Sarah, a young adventurer, was exploring. She was in a meadow with tall trees. Sarah found a magical forest. She saw sparkling trees and a clear stream. She met some friendly animals. They were playing around full of joy. She found a beautiful waterfall, surrounded by flowers and butterflies. There was a mystical rainbow bridge. It led to a hidden treasure. Feeling amazed, Sarah decided to return home, carrying memories of her magical forest adventure. Emily was a brave and adventurous girl who loved exploring with her friends. One day, they decided to explore the enchanted forest, hoping to find the legendary lost treasure. Their journey led them to a sparkling river, which they crossed using a wooden bridge. They discovered a mystical cave hidden behind a waterfall and decided to venture inside. Inside, they found walls adorned with glowing symbols, leading them to a hidden chamber. In the chamber, they found the lost treasure, making their magical forest adventure a grand success.
Tara the tiger prowled through the jungle, her eyes scanning the desolate scene. The ground beneath her paws felt foreign and lifeless.
We cannot let our home wither away,
she resolved, determination burning brighter than the relentless sun overhead. Ravi the rabbit twitched his ears, his mind racing with ideas.
We need water. And fast! I can set up nets for fish once we have a lake,
he suggested, eyes flicking to Tara. Milo the monkey swung down from the branches, clutching a handful of shriveled berries.
I'll gather whatever fruit I can find. Maybe we can barter with the birds for seeds,
he chimed in, a playful spark in his gaze. Tara began to dig, her powerful paws clawing through the dry earth. Each stroke felt like a prayer for rain.
We will bring the water back. Just wait and see,
she murmured, her voice carrying the weight of hope. Ravi hopped beside her, unfurling a net meticulously crafted from vines.
Once the lake fills, we'll have fish again,
he said, excitement bubbling beneath his earnest tone. Milo swung from branch to branch, his keen eyes spotting a cluster of ripe bananas.
These will make a fine feast,
he exclaimed, tossing them down to his friends below. The sight of fresh fruit was a small victory, a reminder of the abundance that once thrived. Tara paused, admiring the progress. The depression in the ground, now resembling a lake bed, promised renewal.
Together we're unstoppable,
she declared, her voice a gentle roar of encouragement. Ravi nodded, weaving the last strands of his net together.
Soon, this place will be full of life again,
he affirmed, his heart light with optimism. Milo joined them, arms laden with fruit.
And we'll feast like kings and queens,
he laughed, the sound echoing through the trees. The trio sat together, watching as a gentle drizzle began to fall. The droplets kissed the earth, breathing life into the parched soil. Tara, Ravi, and Milo exchanged hopeful glances, knowing their efforts were just the beginning of the jungle's revival.
Liam and Sophie were lost in their own world, laughing and chasing each other between the tall trees. Suddenly, a rustling sound from the bushes caught their attention. Curiosity piqued. They stopped in their tracks, exchanging a glance filled with excitement and a hint of caution. Out of the foliage emerged a small, orange fox with mesmerizing bright green eyes. It paused, studying them intently.
Wow, a fox. Do you think it's lost?
Liam grinned, his imagination running wild.
Maybe it's leading us somewhere.
The fox wagged its tail enthusiastically before darting off into the forest, beckoning them to follow. Foxy, as Sophie had named the fox, led them to a magnificent oak tree. Its presence was almost otherworldly, with gnarled roots twisting around like the fingers of an ancient giant. Sophie gasped, pointing to a small door nestled among the roots. Liam whispered,
"A secret door? This is awesome!"
Foxy tapped the door with its paw, and it creaked open, revealing a blinding light that spilled out and enveloped them in warmth. As they stepped through the door, Liam and Sophie found themselves in Fox Hollow, a place brimming with enchantment. The trees pulsed with colors unknown to the human eye, and animals conversed in gentle murmurs. An owl with a wise demeanor fluttered down from above, introducing itself as Elder Owl.
You have found the hidden land of the Forest Guardians. Only kind-hearted adventurers may enter,
it announced with a nod of approval. Sophie beamed.
That's us. But why did the fox bring us here?
Foxy leapt onto a rock, directing their gaze towards a grand tree with a hollowed-out trunk. Elder Owl explained that the tree's magic was dwindling because its heart, a radiant blue gem, had been stolen by the mischievous shadow raccoons. Liam's eyes widened with determination.
We have to get it back,
Sophie agreed.
Let's go, Foxy.
With Foxy leading the way, they embarked on a journey through winding tunnels and over rivers that sparkled like a sea of diamonds. The shadow raccoons were engrossed in a playful game, tossing the gem between them like it was a mere trinket. Sophie and Liam exchanged a look and quickly devised a plan.
Let's trade. We'll give them something even shinier,
Sophie suggested. Liam retrieved his reflective watch, angling it to catch the moonlight. The raccoons, entranced by the glimmer, abandoned the gem. Seizing the moment, Foxy snatched it and dashed away with the children in tow. Back at the enchanted tree, Liam and Sophie carefully placed the gem into its rightful place. Instantly, the forest came alive, glowing with vibrant energy, and the animals erupted in joyous celebration. Elder Owl acknowledged their bravery.
You two have saved Fox Hollow. You will always be welcome here,
it declared. As a token of gratitude, Foxy presented them with tiny glowing leaves, marking them as part of the Forest Guardians. As they stepped back through the door, the magical land faded, leaving Liam and Sophie in the familiar embrace of their forest. They stared at the glowing leaves in their hands, proof that their adventure was real.
Best adventure ever,
Liam declared with a triumphant grin.
And it's just the beginning,
Sophie added, her eyes twinkling with the promise of more adventures to come. As they turned to leave, Foxy gave them a knowing wink before disappearing into the trees.
The market was alive with the vibrant energy of traders and locals. Among them, a woman with a basket of eggs tried to exchange them for a loaf of bread, her brows knitting in frustration as the baker shook his head. Nearby, the aroma of spices mingled with the scent of fresh hay, creating a sensory tapestry that defined the heart of the town. Despite the lively atmosphere, the confusion and dissatisfaction of bartering were palpable. The merchant, Eldrick, stood at his stall, observing the exchanges with a curious mind.
There's got to be a better way,
he mused aloud, his fingers drumming on the wooden counter. His gaze followed the woman with the eggs as she moved on, unsuccessful in her barter. Eldrick knew that a solution lay in finding something everyone agreed upon, a universal token of value. Eldrick spent many nights in his workshop, the idea taking shape in his mind. Before him lay pieces of shiny metal, their surfaces catching the warm light of the fire.
What if these could represent value?
He pondered, picking up a disc of gold. He imagined a world where these tokens could replace the chaotic exchanges of the market, making trade swift and fair. Eldrick held up the first coins, their surfaces gleaming in the dappled sunlight.
These coins, made from precious metals, can be used for all trades,
he explained to the crowd. Murmurs of curiosity and excitement rippled through the gathering as people saw the potential for simpler transactions. Coins exchanged hands, and for the first time, trade seemed less like a gamble and more like a promise. As years passed, Eldrick's invention spread beyond the market town to cities far and wide. The coins became lighter, more varied, and eventually, paper money emerged. People marveled at the ease of trade, the fairness it brought, and how it spurred prosperity.
It's fascinating,
remarked a young trader to his companion.
How one simple idea transformed the world.
Eldrick smiled as he watched the bustling life outside his window, a sense of fulfillment washing over him. The market, once chaotic, now thrived with order and opportunity.
From a single idea,
he thought.
We've built a world where trade is as simple as a promise made and kept.
His heart swelled with pride, knowing he had sparked a change that would last through the ages, as enduring as the coins that started it all.
Ane nods, explaining his forgetful mishaps. Arjun listens intently before offering a small, enchanted notebook.
This will help you remember the little things,
he says, tapping the book with his staff, causing it to glow faintly. Ane flips through the notebook, discovering that each page magically lists items he might need for his journey. He smiles, knowing that this journey through the enchanted woods has taught him valuable lessons about the importance of remembering and being prepared.
No more I forgot,
he declares happily to the night sky, feeling more confident about his future adventures.
John clenched his fists, his mind replaying the final moments of the match. The sting of losing by 1 point was unbearable. As he stormed off the court, his teammates' attempts to console him only fueled his frustration.
If only Ryan had hit that last shot, if Daniel had moved faster, if the umpire hadn't made that bad call,
he muttered, seeking solace and blame. Just as he was about to unleash his anger on his racket, a deep voice interrupted his thoughts.
Whoa, whoa, easy there, champ.
Startled, John looked around, bewildered to find the court empty except for a lone tennis ball at his feet.
Who? What?
He stammered.
I'm Ace, the magical tennis ball of wisdom,
the ball said, bouncing lightly.
And you, my friend, need a little lesson in losing like a champion.
John found himself standing in a vast stadium, the roar of the crowd filling his ears. He watched two players engaged in a fierce match, the intensity palpable.
Where are we?
He asked, trying to make sense of his surreal surroundings.
This,
Ace replied,
is the game of champions. Watch closely. One player is about to lose.
John focused on the match, anticipating an outburst from the losing player. Yet when the player in red missed the final shot, they surprised him by shaking hands with their opponent and offering a genuine smile.
Great match,
the player in red said.
You played really well.
John blinked, perplexed.
Wait, they weren't blaming anyone?
See that?
Ace hovered beside him.
That's called sportsmanship. They're disappointed, sure, but instead of pointing fingers, they're focusing on what they can control.
John was now in the middle of his own championship match, but something was different. His teammates were embroiled in a heated argument.
This is your fault,
Ryan yelled at Daniel.
No, you should have covered the net faster,
Daniel shot back. John watched himself from earlier, standing apart, arms crossed, blaming everyone. The scene was a stark contrast to the harmony he had witnessed moments ago.
Blame divides a team,
Ace sighed beside him.
It makes people afraid to make mistakes. And when people are afraid, they don't take chances, they don't trust each other, and they definitely don't win championships.
John blinked and found himself back on the familiar court, Ace floating beside him. His teammates were still there, packing up in silence, giving him space. This was his moment to choose.
Hey guys,
he called out, drawing surprised glances.
I know I got upset earlier, but that wasn't fair. We all played hard, and instead of blaming each other, let's figure out how we can be better for next time.
Ryan and Daniel exchanged glances before they both smiled.
Yeah.
Ryan nodded.
Next time we'll get it. And next time I'll cover the net faster.
Daniel grinned. John laughed, feeling lighter than ever.
Now that's what I call a real champion.
Ace bounced once. John left the court that day feeling prouder than ever, not because of a trophy, but because he had become a better leader, a better teammate, and a better person. He realized that losing is part of the journey, but how you handle it defines who you are. Champions aren't the ones who win every match. They're the ones who keep improving, support their teammates, and never stop growing.
Anai, a bright-eyed young adventurer, steps into the woods, eager for his journey. However, in his excitement, he realizes he's left his water bottle at home.
Oh no, not again,
he groans, patting his empty backpack. Determined not to let this small setback ruin his day, he marches onward, his eyes scanning the vibrant flora around him. As Anne walks, he suddenly hears a rustling sound behind him. Turning around, he sees a playful squirrel holding a small, shiny object.
Hey, that's my compass,
Anne exclaims, realizing he had dropped it earlier. The squirrel chatters happily, seemingly inviting him to play a game of chase. After retrieving his compass, Anne continues his trek, but soon feels the cold nip of the breeze. He stops, realizing he forgot his jacket as well.
Why do I keep forgetting everything?
He mutters, shivering slightly. Just then he notices a distant figure approaching, a robed figure with a staff, moving gracefully through the trees. Arjun, the wise wizard of the Enchanted Woods, greets Anai warmly.
Young one, I see you've had quite the adventure already.
He chuckles softly. Ane nods, explaining his forgetful mishaps. Arjun listens intently before offering a small, enchanted notebook.
This will help you remember the little things,
he says, tapping the book with his staff, causing it to glow faintly. Ane flips through the notebook, discovering that each page magically lists items he might need for his journeys.
This is incredible. Thank you, Arjun.
He beams, feeling a newfound sense of responsibility. The wizard nods.
Remember, it's the small steps that lead to great journeys,
he advises, before vanishing into the woods. With his enchanted notebook in hand, Ane begins his trek back home, his heart light and his mind clear. He smiles, knowing that this journey through the enchanted woods has taught him valuable lessons about the importance of remembering and being prepared.
No more I forgot. For me,
he declares happily to the night sky, feeling more confident about his future adventures.
Ane stood at the edge of his front yard, his eyes scanning the scene with a knowing